Chapter 8, Mutation. After an inspiring training session, Bai Mo started walking towards the hotel. Lying on a large bed in his hotel room, he once again used his all-knowing eye to conduct a detailed scan of his body, excitedly discovering that the fusion of his respiratory system and energy absorption skin had deepened even further compared to before the shallow diving training. He roughly estimated that if he persisted with such training daily, the two would fully fuse before returning to China from Hawaii, officially achieving what is known as fetal breathing. Although the principle seemed a bit different from what he read in novels, where it was always some profound acquired returning to innate, he had always been a pragmatist. He sought the goal, not the process. At least so far, what he truly enjoyed was the pleasure of exploration. Verifying the similarities and differences between imagined cultivation and real-world cultivation was far more interesting than dealing with human relationships. After lying on the bed for a while, he checked the clock in the room, which showed 8:15. It was already much later than normal dinner time, so he quickly took out his heating equipment and began his chi cultivation work. Previously, Bai Mo could only inhale the light green spiritual chi through his nose, much like inhaling marijuana. Even with his energy absorption skin, he couldn't absorb it as if he couldn't sense the spiritual chi at all, as if spiritual chi was energy. He had also proposed the conjecture that the so-called spiritual chi absorbed daily was not a form of energy at all, nor was it some advanced energy, but rather a special substance. However, he had never been able to perfect his conjecture because he couldn't explain what spiritual chi would be if it wasn't energy. Although this somewhat contradicted his worldview as someone who had studied physics for many years, Bai Mo could only assume that spiritual chi was a high-rank energy that humans were temporarily unable to analyze, and that he couldn't perceive it simply because his energy absorption skin's rank was insufficient. In countless Xuanhuan novels, spiritual chi is considered an advanced energy of heaven and earth, but physics textbooks also told him that there is no such thing as a hierarchy of energy in the real world. There are only different forms of manifestation, such as thermal energy and mechanical energy. So, after his energy absorption skin gained the ability to absorb spiritual chi, Bai Mo began testing the related abilities. Although he had done his best, due to the low fusion of the systems and his severe lack of experience in using his skin to breathe, only a very small amount of spiritual chi was absorbed into his body through his skin. Under the observation of the all-knowing eye, these few wisps of spiritual chi, once they reached the special tissue of the energy absorption skin, were completely absorbed, no different from a few drops of water falling into the desert. What excited him again was that the small piece of tissue became slightly more active after absorbing the spiritual chi. Under cell level perception, Bai Mo roughly estimated that the work efficiency of this small area of tissue was possibly 3 to 5 percentage points higher than that of the surrounding tissue. This was a good start, at least the direction was correct. Over the next few days, Bai Mo treated entirely as a vacation in Hawaii, not an investigation. Every day was spent either cultivating chi in the hotel room or practicing skin breathing by the sea. Occasionally, he would go to the supermarket to buy a large amount of food to combat the hunger that arose after cultivation. Making someone who instinctively breathes through their nose practice breathing through their skin is far more difficult than making a left-handed person practice writing with their right hand. But even though the results were minimal, he persisted in practicing, gradually increasing his proficiency. Humans are such strange creatures. It's like knowing that the effort put into collecting dedicated fortune is completely disproportionate to the few dollars gained, yet still diligently doing it. On the 10th day of his arrival in Hawaii, he found that under the stimulation of his day and night training in spiritual chi, the two systems combined faster than expected, having already fused into an organic whole. This was a full half a month earlier than he had anticipated. I still have 20 days left. What should I do? Bai Mo began to ponder. Actually, there are only two choices: either continue to stay in the hotel or go to the volcano. At the foot of the volcano, as my mentor suggested for investigation. I still have 6 spirit stones left, and staying put won't last much longer. It's better to go to the foot of the volcano first to collect some spirit stones to meet my subsequent needs. According to my mentor, those stones are quite easy to pick up at the foot of the volcano. He marked, and their dull black appearance means no one will notice them, so there's no fear of anyone getting there first. For confidentiality, he directly asked the hotel staff to help him rent a car and then obtained a large military backpack containing a complete set of wilderness survival equipment. This is the convenience of capitalist countries. As long as there is a demand, wilderness equipment will be prepared and delivered to your hands. The only problem was that it cost Bai Mo twice the money. Weighing the military backpack, Bai Mo estimated that with the experimental equipment, it was about 80 jin. However, for his current physical fitness, carrying 80 jin was like a normal person carrying 8 jin. The only problem might be that the large volume could slightly affect his movement. After putting the experimental equipment into the bag, he threw the military backpack onto the passenger seat of the rented off-road vehicle. Having had the experience of needing to eat and drink heavily after absorbing spiritual chi, to ensure no embarrassing situations occurred, Bai Mo then had enough supplies for 2 months of normal human survival delivered, stuffing them all into the backseat and the back of the car. He knew in his heart that relying on himself, with no wilderness hunting experience, to rashly run into the forest and always catch prey to eat when a cultivation problem led to him starving mad, like the protagonists in Xuanhuan novels he usually read, was basically impossible. Even with physical qualities far superior to a normal person, hunting in the forest without experience or weapons is extremely difficult. Animals can run if they can't fight. The forest greatly restricts the speed of unfamiliar people. Bai Mo deliberated for a while, and after feeling that all preparations were complete, he began to set off for his destination. He traveled almost entirely on desolate forest roads, and he noticed that the closer he got to his destination, the higher the concentration of a certain familiar chi in the air. Halfway there, Bai Mo pulled the car over to the side of the road and got out to examine it carefully. This is actually spiritual chi. Could it be that there's a spirit stone mine hidden beneath this volcano? Or is the volcano connected to a blessed land? As soon as Bai Mo realized that the gradually increasing concentration was spiritual chi, he began to lean towards Xuanhuan novels again. After all, he was just a student obsessed with novels, who just happened to like thinking, which was why he studied physics. It seems I need to be prepared for the increased possibility of encountering dangerous yabis the closer I get to the volcano. Bai Mo knew very well that spiritual chi greatly promoted biological evolution, and he himself was the best example. It was not at all uncommon for spirit beasts and yabis to evolve in such dense forests, and they generally had evolved the intelligence to reason with humans. Their minds were likely still completely governed by the law of the jungle. Bai Mo got back into the car, took a small amount of compressed biscuits from his military backpack and put them into his pants pocket, then fastened his military knife and water bottle to his waist, one on the left and one on the right. After preparing for battle, he got back into the car. He gripped the steering wheel tightly, ready for any sudden situation.